Good morning from Puntarenas, Costa Rica. Today we are docked on the starboard side, and I'm excited because I love to watch a little bit of port action. Let's go see what the view looks like from my balcony. It was a gorgeous, sunny morning in Costa Rica. From my balcony, I could see the mountains off in the distance. The water was calm, even the birds welcomed us. As I panned over to Puntarenas, I saw lots of activity on the pier as the crew had already set up the gangways in preparation for disembarkation. Look at all those motor coaches. I noticed that they were lined up all the way to the end of the pier, and I wondered how in the world are they going to turn around and go back out from this narrow pier. And look at that steep gangway coming from deck 5. It connects to a landing platform with stairs down to the pier. I decided to go to deck 7 on the promenade to get a better view. Of course, on my way to deck 7, I had to pick up a pastry, and in that short length of time, they set up a gangway from deck 4, which will be much easier for passengers to walk down. Upon closer look, I noticed that buses and motor coaches were backing in. Smart move. The shore excursion team meets each bus and guide to make sure that everything is arranged for the many shore excursion options at this port. I wondered which of the buses would be mine. It was about 7:30 a.m. and my excursion was not scheduled to leave until 9 a.m. We packed our backpack with the essentials for the day, and we're off, loading this nice Mercedes motor coach. We settled in for our 1.5-hour bus ride, beginning with the town of Puntarenas, and enjoyed our drive passing homes and businesses, restaurants, schools, side streets, everything a normal town would have, and enjoyed some of the scenery along the way through the beautiful country of Costa Rica. We entered the community of Naranjo, which you can see set in the hills toward our first stop at the Espiritu Santo farm. In fact, the guide we would have today lives in this community and told us that she often walks to work, as do most who work on the farm. This is the dry season, and still a lot of green to be seen. We were warmly greeted, and our large bus group was divided into 2 smaller groups for the tour as she introduced the 2 guides we would have today. Our guide was Laura. She led us to the chocolate demonstration first, where she showed a large cacao pod which houses all the wonderful beans. She explained how they are harvested and roasted to make wonderful chocolate goodness. On to the coffee now, which, unlike the chocolate, is grown here. Laura demonstrated how they would attach a basket to themselves to keep their hands free so they can pick the beans efficiently. Next, our group walked over to the old coffee mill. I'm glad we were divided into 2 smaller groups. It made it much easier to see and hear everything Laura had to tell us. She explained some of the scenery at the mill, the separator and the area where the beans are measured and bags are counted on the abacus. Husks are removed from the beans, and the husks are used for composting. Sometimes the coffee beans are dried by machine, but they can also be sun-dried. Laura demonstrated how they rotate the beans gently using this tool. Of course, I had to get a little hands-on experience myself. Laura guided us through the farm to a literal coffee house with an old wooden coffee grinder on the front porch. Here, one of the workers was heating water over a wood stove, so it would be ready for some coffee a little later. Laura invited us through the house to have a seat in a demonstration area, and she demonstrated how to properly prepare a cup of coffee with a reusable filter, and we were given samples of 2 different blends. We had little time to pose for photos, enjoy the grounds, and explore the gift shop before boarding our bus to the next stop on our excursion. Our next stop was in the community of Sarchi. Originally, we were scheduled to visit the town center where the world's largest ox cart was on display, but it was damaged about a month ago and removed for repairs, so we skipped that part of the tour and came to this location, which has a courtyard that surrounds an old ox cart factory. That is one wheel of that giant ox cart, which they have on display here. Artists were demonstrating their painting techniques. The guide explained the history, the style of the painting designs, and took us inside the factory for a demonstration of some of the old machinery. We were offered fresh fruit as a snack, We were offered fresh fruit snacks as we enjoyed looking at the various ox carts on display in the courtyard. This building has a major gift shop with everything from ball caps to magnets to t-shirts to hand-painted ox carts and tables of various sizes. I was very content with my purchase, 70% dark mint chocolate. We boarded the motor coach one last time and enjoyed more of the beautiful scenery of Costa Rica. As we neared Puntarenas and the cruise port, we saw the river and the mangroves. Our motor coach dropped us off right at the ship, but I wasn't quite finished with Puntarenas yet. I wanted to walk to the end of the pier and get a photo of the Welcome to Puntarenas sign at the exit. But after our long day, I decided I had enough exercise, and I took the complimentary trolley back to the ship. Good to be back to our floating home after our enjoyable day in Puntarenas, Costa Rica.